How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we just need one more. That's alright. Yeah, we're good. Come on. There's a nice little number for you there.
Nearly hit the 10. There's one there. Is that just one.
Is it two even? Maybe go in that reserve. Sitting that one until someone tells you. Better to ask for forgiveness.
So there's a whole 8 more.
You're strapping here. You have to fly forward with it. You don't need to do it. You're nervous. You're already focused. Don't get thrown on
I'd say so. Oh my god. Yeah, so yeah, it's like a hand study. One degree.
I sit here. Look at me. Sitting here. Cramped in. Sitting here. Wet. Cramped in. Sitting here. Looking at me. I sit here. Too late. Is it too late to sit here and start? I want them. They're millions of nerves. Their heartbeats. Something with a heartbeat. I want a beat. I want them to sit here with me, and it hurts. It's suffocating. It's isolating, but it's funny. I could laugh because it's funny. Me sitting here. You looking at me. Sitting here. Look at me. I want you. Let me help you heal. My body can heal. Heal my body. We can heal. Trace my skin. Connecting everything. Connecting every inch. Inch closer. And now you look at me as I sit here. Sparkling. It's sparkling. I'm looking like I want me. I want no. Maybe. Yes. I want to try. To pump life. To consume. To play. To sit here. And look at me. I want to sit here and start. To try. A touch. To try. Touching. Me. I want to sit here. Cramped in. Wet. I want to sit here. And understand. I want you. I want them. I want me. So I touch. And I start. 7. I don't know when I first became aware of it. I thought it was something that just held my wee. And then suddenly it's sparkling, sort of tingling, like it's giggling. It's funny, a funny feeling. Something is happening beyond my understanding. And then I'm standing, looking in a mirror, looking at me, and looking back at me. I'm wondering, what's that funny thing? Then later, I'm in the bath, sitting in Mum's used water, and I don't know why, but I'm bashing Barbies together. Smashing their bodies on top of each other, legs split open, aggressively hitting them against one another, rubbing their smooth bits up and down and around the others. And it's funny, because there's that feeling, that sparkling, but nothing's happening. The Barbies are just sort of slipping, and I'm wondering, where are their funny things? 18, and I don't know when it transitioned from being that funny thing I peed out of to being something else. Something exciting, something bad, something... I remember the first time I touched it. Like I properly investigated it. Yeah, it's like when you're doing a word search and you've got just one word left to find and you've been staring at the page for so long that you actually start to think there's a mistake. Like maybe you forgot to put that word in there or something, and so you start compiling a letter of complaint in your head when you see it. And it's now as if that one word is in bold letters, and every time you look at the page it's all you can see. It was like that. I was in the shower, and for girls it's really hard to masturbate standing up. But it's not like anyone told me that and gave me a wanking masterclass, so I just had to sort of work it out for myself. I tried opening up my legs as wide as possible and got a sort of squat on. But then my thighs gave way, so I started just rubbing away. One leg up against the wall, shower pounding down on my face, hair sticking to my cheeks, blurred vision. But luckily we had one of those shower/bath combos. So there I was, back in our family bath, only this time cramped in. Legs open as wide as the sides would go. Shower pounding down on me, water cold by the time I left the shower head and hit my body, and then BOOM! I thought I peed myself. I found that button and my whole body spasmed. Feet kicking taps, head smacking shampoo bottles, my mum calling to see if I was alright. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, I just stubbed my toe! What the just happened? Is that normal? Should I have done that? After the first time, I couldn't stop. I couldn't believe that anyone stopped, ever. I'd heard of this woman who could have an orgasm from just thinking in like 2 minutes. How the hell did she get anything done? I wouldn't be able to focus. It would be like the best superpower ever, and the worst. Because how would I fight crime? I'd be too busy getting myself off. I couldn't understand why no one talked about this. Why no one had mentioned it before, and why other girls didn't do it. I mean, women wouldn't have been given clits if they weren't meant to be enjoyed. Right? 21. And sure, I was a late bloomer. And everyone else came sooner. And I was one of the fewer. But we few had each other. And this was a big night. My night. My 21st. So we went out. Like, out. Out of our family homes, down the road, turned right onto the high street, and there it was. The club. Of course we knew it. We had just never actually been to it. Everyone in the town knew it. We were just new to it. To this, to being out, out. It wasn't really our thing, but tonight, it was happening. We walked in. The smell of sweat was shocking. It had corroded the walls till they were dripping, the paper curling at its edges. We edged in further, uncomfortably squirming in our overdressed dresses, tripping over abandoned heels, abandoned bags, abandoned lads. What am I doing here? We make a beeline for the bar, and people slip and drinks tip as we fight to get served. And in the exchange of money for drinks, I struggle to hear what the barman is saying over the thud of a beat bashing in my head. What am I doing here? I lean in. I put my hands on the bar to push myself up to here, and they stick, becoming attached. So I have to physically unpeel them from the stickiness that clings to them. From what I hope is just alcohol and not a mix of saliva dripping from the open mouth of the tongue-licking Olympic team going for gold next to me. What am I doing here? I don't belong here. I go to move, maybe to leave. And then you walk in, talking. Girls trip and fall in at your feet. You never miss a beat as you meet and greet your fans. You stand tall, but cool. I'm happy to take a back seat as people taxi along with you. I'm with you, and for a second I catch your eye, and I think, fuck, what if he was mine?
But see, I'm not a massively sexually experienced person. From Barbies to bathtubs, I haven't quite graduated to full-on sex stuff. Sure, I've kissed, and once or twice a hand might have slipped, but the opportunity for anything else was just sort of missed. Shocked, I know, right? But look at me, back in class, tight ass. It's a big ass to take me, a geeky Doctor Who fan who can't really stick it to the man and doesn't really have any plan at all. And least of all, this exposed protruding nose and sticky out chin and brace for a grin. And I know my mum teaches me it's these quirky features in me that make me stand out. Right out of that line of another kind of fucking fit ass girls. I mean, Jesus Christ, that was some good DNA. But it's okay, because my mum teaches me that's what makes me unconventionally beautiful.
Oh, but right now I don't want unconventional. I want to get your attention. So I fall into every stereotypical intention as I clench in, wrenched in, end up drenched in anything to fit into perfection. Beauty is pain as I get slain by these blisters forming as I conform into wearing these lace up, waist up, trying to keep my face up boots.
Cause really I wish I was in that line of fucking fit ass girls. All eyes on them in the club, their arse is hypnotising. And so much sass pouring out of that too tight dress and curves, those curves, with legs like pegs never ending, sending come to bed eyes as they open their thighs and basically fuck on the dance floor.
I mean, I am a feminist, you know? But sometimes that goes out the window as I try to attract and interact with you. Principles that I live by, give by, disappear as I try to get your attention by falling into social conventions. Because apparently, I'm not supposed to be intelligent or excellent. Everything about me is irrelevant except these tricks we use to get picked up. But I might as well give up because you're dancing on the dance floor with a better trickster. And this is how I know I'm going to be single forever. Unable to mingle, sitting in my bed, stuffing my face full of Pringles because I can't do these tricks.
And then some gangly, mangly boy sidles up next to me and flattered. Maybe, but I look at the dance floor, at these fine specimens of human reproduction coming together, feeling, touching, exploring, as she wettens as you harden, and I can hear the buzz of that fly buzzing around me. And sure, he's a nice guy, but for once I want to be her, because I know she's getting laid tonight, as I know that she knows that you know stuff.
But when I step into the dance floor, floored by your gaze, everyone stands amazed. So this is my chance. I try giving you a look. Oh, but something is wrong. I'm holding it for too long, staring, wearing it down, not blinking, freaking you out. Okay, try again. But now this time I'm too quick, like back and forth as if I've got a twitch or an itch in my eye.
And I think I'm losing my chance because as you dance, I know that she knows that you know that this is a crazy, wild, adult game of Twister. Bodies mixing into one another, her bending like a Barbie and you extending like a sonic screwdriver, driving each other and coming in.
Put your eyes continue. Okay, so one last attempt. I use the toilet as an excuse to sashay past you, slyly catching your eye or seeing them watching my thighs. I go more frequently just to get you to look at me. The girls start asking questions, coming up with suggestions. One asks if I've got a UTI, because I've gone to the toilet 5 times in the last half an hour, offering me tablets to power on through.
Fuck! So I just stand there, and to the gangly guy next to me I toast aloud, but inside I'm aroused. Because you see, the thing is, I'm not even gonna have clumsy, fumbly, bumbly sex with this fly. Him stuck in his shirt, me unable to do my skirt, awkward touching him, apologising for his early arrival. No, I'm just gonna go home, alone, and feel fucking frustrated. People think girls like me don't want the D, that our hormones aren't developed, but we're thirsty.
Then suddenly, you move towards the bar, not far from me. This could be my chance. I think about going up to you and explaining, I don't have an infection. I'm just trying to gain retention without getting sections. That doesn't fit into the room. So I go rogue, because I can't do selfies or Vogue.
And this is hard because while you can quench your thirst with human touch. The only way that I am holding in and controlling this preoccupation is with pure masturbation, and it's hard because I want you.
And I'm not getting your attention by following these condescensions. They don't work on me because I can't pass the test. I'm a bit of a mess. I'm too loud, brash, I make rash decisions, I laugh for too long, and I'm sorry, but I don't like wearing thongs.
And I want to tell you that I need you, that I crave you all the time, and I want you to be mine. I want our bodies to intertwine, so I don't know where I begin and you stop. I want to kiss your whole body and lick your neck and bite your ear. I want to hear you pant and moan. I want to feel my legs tense, that tsunami rush up my spine, hands shaking, heart bleeding, sweat dripping because of you. But see, I'm not a massively sexually experienced person. I can't be funny or flirty or sexy,
But I can hold a conversation. Sure, I swear at every exclamation, but I'm smart and interesting. So, if you have a thing for a girl who goes from awkward to confident in a flick and a twirl, then maybe I should chat to you and give this thing a whirl.
and I want to tell you that I need you to take me here, there, anywhere. I just want to feel you and me.
Because while you're cool, calm and collected, you have affected me, and I'm forgetting what's expected of me.
And I don't really know what to do. Innocent, naive, call me what you want. I don't know what's right or wrong, what's forward or not, because you see, I'm not a massively sexually experienced person. I'm just me.
Then just as I'm about to give up and leave, I catch you taking a second glance, checking me. And for a second,
I think you might want the chance of getting with me.
You woke up to me, and suddenly everything I've ever dreamed of becomes a reality. And somehow I lose my vocabulary.
the only word that I seem able to form is hi.
Say something.
Anything? See, here's the thing.
What's the thing? It better be something. It better be something.
Anything? The thing is.
The thing has got to be something.
Anything. At this point now, the thing can be anything.
Just say something.
Anything. I see you.
What? That was something.
I see you. I actually see you. I mean, I know everyone sees you, but I really see you. I see you more than anyone else sees you. I see you clearer and sharper than they see you. I can see more of you. More of you than they'll ever know. And I don't mean in the hippy-dippy, I can see the colour purple oozing out of me kind of way. I just mean, I see you. Oh God, I'm not making sense. I mean, everyone can see you. Everyone has eyes. Well, except for people with glass eyes. And then there's the blind. That's not really what I'm talking about, though. Not that I have anything against the blind. Oh, this isn't some blindism thing. No, see, what I'm trying to say is that everyone can see you, but I really see you, you see? I see when you smile, and I see when you don't. And I get it. I really think I get it. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm assuming things. I just really feel that I see you. No, I'm sorry. I apologise. This is weird. No, I get that this is weird. I'm weird. It's just, I want to touch you. Not like that. I mean, maybe. Like that. One day, in the future, if that was a thing. We wanted to, consensually, obviously. I mean, of course, obviously, I'm not a rapist. Who is? No, I mean, people are. But I'm not. Which is probably what a rapist would say. Fuck! Sorry. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Are you hot? Because I'm sweating. I mean, look at me, I am sweating. I don't mean look at me because I'm sweating. I just mean look at me. And tell me you don't see me. When I look at you, everything blends into the background. The world that covers and smothers you fades, and I can see you. You become fresh to my eyes. Like cold water after a run, my eyes can taste you, and nothing has ever tasted like this before. And I want to touch you. But I actually want to feel you. Like I want to have that taste run through my fingertips into my bloodstream and to never leave my body. Yeah, like I've been kissed by the wind and purified by the rain. You would baptize me and I would fall. Happily, helplessly. Look at me. Do you see me? Because I really think you could. I think I could. Harder. Look harder. Look at me. Hi. I'm Lucy. Fuck! We really hit it off. Ow. Oh, Jesus Christ. And one thing led to another.
Oh, left a bit. No, go right a bit.
And before I knew it,
Forward, just easy.
Stop jabbing it.
you were my first.
It doesn't fit. What? It won't go in. Stuff it in. How? Shove it up there? What if it gets stuck?
It was...
Push harder. What if I don't have the right hole?
Push faster.
What if I don't have any of the holes?
Rip the plaster! It was...
Fuck!
magical.
I'm never doing it again.
We did it again.
Oh, no one is ever doing it again.
And again and again.
It was horrific.
And it got better.
Why does no one tell you? The first time I bled on the sheets.
Did you know that in some cultures they hang the bloody sheets outside the home to prove she was a virgin?
It's a patriarchal ownership thing. I was so embarrassed. I wish we claimed that back. Not for the patriarchal ownership thing. I didn't know what to do. Just for the openness of the bleeding thing, it just seems more accepted, more expected, more prepared. You saw the sheets, and something tweaked inside of me. I inwardly freaked. I didn't know what to say, I couldn't speak, I didn't know how to explain it all away. My mouth was dry and my eyes began to prick. They burned as I saw you learn that was my first turn. I turned away, I needed to find an airway. I couldn't breathe, I needed to leave, I started to heave. But then you teased the sheets off. Your hand brushed with stain and blush pain rained down on me. But you didn't flinch or inch away. You delayed and stayed for a moment, considering our claim you claimed for a second, before removing them and improving them with fresh sheets. Everything fresh to my eyes. And it shook me as you took me in your arms and whispered, "Sorry." You looked at me. You sat me down. You found where the pain pounded. You kissed me, soft and slow.
And we did it again.
And we did it again. And we did it again.
And over time, again and again.
It got better. 25. And for a few years we had been having some fun. I was starting to think you were the one. But things had become
Predictable.
not bad, just a little boring. We were moved in,
Out of town.
into city, honeymooning over.
And now,
reality. Office.
Eat, sleep.
Office.
Eat, sleep.
Office.
Eat, sleep.
Repeat. And not a lot of time for, well, anything. So I wanted to spice things up a little bit more, to experiment a little bit, to explore and learn to adore a little bit more.
And so, for the first time, I went to Anne Summers. I walked past the shop 3 times before heading in. I knew the security guard just recognised me, so he just smiled when I finally went in. I lingered in the lingerie for ages before I could get the courage to go in any further. You see, the shop is set out in a way that lured me into a false sense of security. As I walk in, there's underwear on display. matching pants and bras, and I can almost make myself believe that I'm in the underwear section of M&S or something. As if M&S also sold suspenders and crotchless pants. So, I'm just browsing, getting a little overwhelmed over the amount of choice. Baby dolls, hosiery, chemises, bodices, corsets, and that's not even starting on the costumes. Hospital hottie, sexy secretary, tuxedo bunny.
And then suddenly, I'm there, down the back, in a little section of its own, and I know I'm not in M&S anymore. There are penis things everywhere. Cock rings and anal beads, things for him, for her, for couples. There are bright pink vibrators with diamond crustings. And why the fuck would I want a diamond-crusted vibrator? What if one of the cheap diamond sequins comes off inside me, and then I can't find it, and then I have to live with a permanent bejazzle? No way. So I back away. I back away and into, holy fuck! I back straight into these massive dildos. In all different shapes and colours, and let's be honest, penises, not the most attractive things in the world. But if it's not an actual penis, why would I want it to have all those veins and wrinkles and stuff? Surely it's just better to have something nice to put up inside of me. And now I'm starting to understand the whole diamond trend when a woman comes up next to me. Can I help it out? And I freeze. I don't know what to say. I just stare at her. Say something. Anything. No, thanks, just looking. Anything in particular? Well, anything? The next thing I know, I have this woman picking out couples vibrators for me, showing me the lube she personally prefers, and holding up lingerie she thinks will bring out my eyes. At last, we head up to the counter, and as it turns out, sex is expensive. I panic buy the lingerie and hand back everything else that collectively makes up half my rent.
But I promise, I'll come back for the rest.
And I do, in time.
Cut to that evening, and I am standing over the bath, looking down at myself, considering my vagina more than I have ever before.
Does it look okay?
How am I supposed to know?
Cut, shaven, trimmed,
Trimmed, shaven, cut.
styled, restyled,
Natural.
bold,
Bikini line?
Landing strip.
I put on my new underwear,
I look in the mirror.
and I look hot. Like, really hot. And I'm looking at it's not like I need these things to feel sexy. It's just that for the first time, I look in the mirror, and looking back at me, I see it.
I know what I want.
That was the first time I actually enjoyed sex.
I mean, I'd always enjoyed it. I just never realised how much I could enjoy it until I really enjoyed it.
Until I found that we could enjoy it properly, together.
Rewind to you getting home early.
While I was finishing preparing,
Just taking in what I was wearing.
As you walked in,
talking,
And a momentary panic set in.
you caught a glimpse of me rushing between our kitchen and bathroom.
And I started to question.
is this the right decision?
What if you laugh when I ask?
When I asked for the first time.
When I take control,
For the first time.
when I lead the game.
For the first time.
But then you see me.
And it's like it's the first time again.
You actually see me.
And there's a glimmer in your eyes again.
A glimmer of relief from what our old, tired game had started to be.
To what this new, exciting game could potentially be.
And we see each other and now both agree.
So you trip and fall in at my feet.
And from there, I didn't miss a beat. We greet one another as we had done before. Your lips pressed against mine, but it's new this time. You tremble at my touch as I take control.
'Cause alone, your dick's not gonna make me come. Sure, it's a lot of fun. I like having you inside me, feeling us vibing, both in sync till you start arriving. But I'm finding too often that if you stick to this one trick, I'm lying there thinking, God, I hope this is quick. It takes more to make me tick. My orgasm is more complicated than hit and repeat on an in and out streak, so listen to me speak because I'm going to break it down for you.
Follow me.
I lead you to our bed. As my legs spread, I explain the game. As I claim tonight is going to fulfill a different appetite. Mine.
One.
There's more to me than just a floating vagina. I've got a body that it's attached to the one that attracted you, that you might want to pay a little more attention to.
I want you
bring more to the table than just their crown jewels, because I'm not going to lose anymore. So maybe you gotta choose between bulging and rising, because I'm not scared to call your bluff.
Kiss me. You start on my lips, a gentle clip to tease me with your taste, but you waste my time as the tension starts to climb. You find your way to my neck, and in a sec I am buzzing, hair standing on end, type of rushing going through me. You move down my body as you get cocky. You start to play, your lips stray, taking a breath at a time as you wind your tongue around. 2.
You've got a tongue. Use it. You ask me to give you head every time we go to bed, hands on the back of my neck, begging me not to stop. But when I pop the question, just a simple suggestion, a little direction on how to release my tension, a tongue tip against my clit.
I want you to use your tongue.
You look at me with confusion as the illusion breaks, as you realize I'm also a human looking for a sexual conclusion, as you realize I know what I want, and it's more than just a quick poke in my hole, as I own my body. I've played with my body, and I know what my body wants, and it wants a man who knows how to use his tongue, who can make me come as he wraps it around my legs and words in my head, who can stimulate me both sexually and intellectually with the tongue in his mouth. I want to be tied up, tongue tied up as my eyes pop wide as it lies against my body and against my mind, as we both find uses that help me unwind.
I want you to use your tongue. Your lips connect with my thighs, opening wide, moving close and swinging to the other side, so close to touching as I push harder. You tease and taunt, and just as my body's about to explode and implode, needing to scream from frustration and elation, my body contracting and impacting in on itself, you touch. Slow at first, as the thirst starts to build, as you press into my senses, running up and down and round till you found the spot.
3. And finally, I've got these 2 fingers that I know how to use.
I want to touch myself.
We've got pretty close over the years, and I know what to do. So, while you're inside me pumping away, maybe I want to play. Want to add another level to our little game. Does that scare you? Is it too much to handle that I want my hands full of me? That your dick might not be all that porn made it out to be? That there may be some other angles that I forgot to see, like me, like all of me?
I want to touch me. My fingertips glide down my body. They slide up my legs. They thread themselves into place. Tracing as energy starts bracing. My body is racing. The chase is on.
Is this all too much? Is my empowerment emasculating? My voice degrading? Am I too demanding? Advancing uncommanding?
I want you inside me. You look at me and smile. You see me, pushing back my legs as I pull you in deeper. I feel you seep in, further, deeper, faster, slower, hitting my buttons as my nails cut into your neck. Wrapping my legs around, holding on tight as the sensation reaches new heights. The sensation of the vibration traveling through my bloodstream from my fingertips to my toes as my body connects in one electric shockwave and the ecstasy flows. 29. Shit.
That's the feeling when the condom splits.
Sheer panic, passing through.
It is almost like I can feel the conception happening.
And in that moment I am 45, living in the suburbs, driving a people's carrier and waving little Jimmy off to uni.
My life is over.
And of course nothing is actually happening, I am overreacting.
But I'm 29.
The pressure of life passing by.
The pressure of girls from school becoming wives.
The pressure of everywhere I go, there being babies with big, dopey eyes.
You turned to me.
8 years we've been going, you said to me. Would it be so bad if we'd one of our own? Time freezes, and a question seizes.
Are we ready to leave our life behind?
Are we ready to no longer be free? Are we ready to give up everything we've already achieved?
And see, I want it, but right now you're looking at me and we're so happy.
And you're looking at me, and I wonder if this could be what we need. And you are looking at me. And is it selfish to just want you to be mine for a little longer? To just want to have all your attention for a little longer? To just want to have all your love for a little longer?
Is it selfish to want to keep my freedom in this moment? To want to follow my work in this moment, now that I am enjoying and succeeding in this moment?
Is it selfish to wonder, would it be worth it? If giving up our life would be worth it? If sharing our love would be worth it? Time unfreezes. I need a little longer.
Your hand squeezes mine.
Take your time.
Time ticks.
6 months slip.
And the thought sticks, and the stick grows into a want, and the want pricks, it picks away. My eyes start to stray as babies pass by, and then one day, I look at you, I see you. And it's funny, because then I knew, and I can't tell you why or how, I just knew. And the love grew. I loved you, and I wanted another you, or me, another you and me. I wanted to make something out of this perfect entity. I wanted to make a person out of the person I loved.
I take your hand.
Look at me.
I squeeze.
Let's make us 3.
Time ticks. 1 month slips.
I was addicted. I was addicted to how you held me, to how your tongue danced down my body. I was addicted to how you kissed open my thighs. I was addicted to how you took me in your mouth first. I was addicted to how you played with me. I was addicted to how you felt in me.
Time ticks. 3 months slip.
I was addicted. I was addicted to trying. I was addicted to making you come. I was addicted to making schedules and routines and taking tests.
Time ticks. 6 months slip.
I was addicted. I was addicted to getting it done. I was addicted to having you beside me for a few seconds at a time, to finding the quickest way, to pushing through the warm-up and just putting you in, to move past the tightness and the jarring and to just conceive.
Time ticks. 9 months slip.
I was addicted, and I was sick of you. I was sick of you taking your time and wasting mine. I was sick of you finding new ways to play. I was sick of you kissing me and wanting me and enjoying me. I was sick of you not just doing your job. Don't touch me, just fuck me. I was addicted.
Time ticks. 11 months slip.
I was addicted. And I hated myself. I didn't know why I couldn't. Why everything I was told I should just wouldn't. I didn't know what was wrong with me. Why part of you didn't want to join with me. Why someone didn't want to grow in me. I was addicted.
Time ticks. And it took 13 months and 11 days for something to slip. Something to click.
5,
4, 3,
2,
1.
positive.
At last I could breathe. I felt myself start to heat. I could hardly
We
believe.
finally conceived, and I was
Terrified.
We were free from everything, all the
Tests and temperature taking, the waiting and the wanting, the restriction from sex, and then the friction from sex, the fear, the blame, the unrelenting shame,
gone and renewed with
indescribable joy, a love pounding inside of me joy, a need to laugh and cry from this overpowering joy, and fear, a new fear, a rewind time fear, nothing is ever going to be the same fear, can I do this fear, what we had wanted for so long, and then it's real. I mean, I had to check it was real. I couldn't believe it was real. After all the negatives, I couldn't believe the positive. I peed constantly, on stick after stick. On our stockpile of pregnancy tests, I peed them all. And then I told you it was real. You took me and shook your head. Don't joke with me. I showed you the test. Your eyes instantly filled and they spilled over. You laughed, you cried, you held me. You couldn't believe it was real. So we went out and bought a whole new set of pregnancy tests. And yeah, pregnancy is expensive, but we bought them all. And I've never been so delighted to pee. And you've never been so delighted to watch me pee. As we sat in the toilet and you held my hand and we both grinned uncontrollably. And I peed until I could pee no more. Until there were more positives than there were negatives. And it was real. We were doing this.
weeks started to pass and I felt them settle. I know they're nothing more than a couple of cells coming together, but it was as if I could feel them building their home in me, getting comfortable for the next 9 months. And as they made their nest in me, I settled too. I relaxed into carrying them, and the fears sunk a little as we started to get to know each other.
And physically, nothing changes outside the body, but inside, it's churning. And my mum knows the second she sees me. I tried to deny at a convention, but she sees right through me. She whispers, "Congratulations," in my ear, and it becomes a reality. And then time ticks, 12 weeks slip. I wake to a shooting pain in my back.
I curl into the cramp and I clutch around my stomach as I try to cling to it. I feel something compressing around me, twisting my insides tight as the pain deepens. I feel a warmth between my legs, and I can't move, but I know. So I lay in my blood before you wake. I want you to stay asleep so I can keep them for a little longer. I thought if I didn't move, they'd still be part of me, that my body would be all they needed. They needed me, so I stay still. I feel them leave me. I press my legs shut, I try to hold on, I try to hold them in, and I don't give up. They're mine, and I don't know why my body stopped loving them, because I never did. And I don't move for fear of waking you. I want you to stay asleep. I don't want you to break this moment. I don't want to look you in the eye. I don't want you to make me leave them. I don't want you to see the stained sheets. I don't want you to see how I have failed. But then you wake. I'm fine. You start to, please, give me more time. You rushed me there, and you did everything right as I sat there bleeding. And then they told us there that our baby was gone. And you did everything right. Then they told us there that they needed to make it stop, to make the bleeding stop. So they opened me with the pliers where you used to use your fingers. They took a knife to me where you used to take a tongue. And you did everything right as they scraped away the walls of my insides, which should have been looking after something warm and alive. You did everything right as they tried to stop me bleeding from the gaping gap where my child should have been born. And then you took me home. You held me tight. You laid me down. You kissed me. Good night. And as I lay in those sheets, something tweaked inside of me. I inwardly freaked. I couldn't speak. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't explain how you just hidden it all away. My mouth was dry and my eyes began to prick. They burned as I saw, as I learned that you teased those sheets off. My sheets off. Their sheets were gone. Your hand would have brushed the stain and pain rained down on me. Did you flinch or inch away? Did you delay or stay for a moment? Did you cling for a second? Did you consider anything before removing them and improving them with fresh sheets, everything? Fresh to my eyes against my skin. It buried me in and pinned me in a stranger's sheets, and I know you were just trying to do what was right, and you did everything right, but you had no right, because they were my sheets. My sheets to keep, my sheets to clean, my sheets to hang in the streets to show the world that I had a baby too. And it shook me as you looked at me and tried to find where the pain pounded, but couldn't. Time ticks.
31 slips.
Kisses miss and words drift.
Nothing feels the ache in the abyss.
Something between us
Gone.
Changed.
Something between us doesn't quite feel the same.
You tried to fix, but nothing fits.
Look at me. You beg me.
But I can't.
I can't see you and I can't see me anymore. We're just blurry.
So I try to avoid you.
To avoid us.
And reality hits.
Office,
Eat.
Sleep.
office,
Eat.
Sleep.
office.
Eat. Sleep.
And I make sure there isn't a lot of time for, well, anything else.
We try a few things, but actually doing everything, actually being together again, it's not really a thing yet.
So I stay late at work.
I work constantly.
Just to be somewhere where nothing's changed.
No one knew, so no one asked.
No one knows I'm mummy, and you're a daddy, and that I was pregnant, but I'm without a baby.
And then I get home and you try so hard.
Do you blame me?
You ask me.
And you break my heart.
Because rationally, I know that you did everything right.
Everyone did everything right.
The nurses,
the doctors,
my mother,
you. But that doesn't stop me from being angry.
It still hurts me.
And then you look at me. I'm hurting too.
You tell me.
I'm grieving too.
You tell me.
But I'm not just grieving our
You
baby.
tell me.
I'm grieving you.
You tell me.
I've lost you.
I still love you.
I tell you.
And you cry.
Can we at least try?
You ask me.
And I see you.
How about a date?
Okay.
Why don't we play our game?
Okay, I say.
Date 1.
You walk in. We try talking, we trip and end up falling, stumbling over sentences and stalling.
Date 2.
I use the toilet as an excuse to break away, slyly catching your eye and seeing you see right through me, knowing the real reason why.
Date 3.
We try holding a look, but something is wrong.
Date 4.
You find me in bed, unable to mingle, mindlessly stuffing my face full of Pringles when a smile starts to tingle. You see me how I used to be, invisibly stained sheets of our history, and a world starts to unpeel. The idea that something stupid like eating crisps in our sheets might finally let us heal. We sit and eat. We watch
Mindlessly.
We talk occasionally.
We look.
With uncertainty.
You touch. Hesitantly.
I flinch.
Automatically.
You wait.
Systematically.
And try again.
Accordingly.
I'm still. Reassuringly.
You continue.
Hopefully.
I'm still.
Promisingly.
You kiss.
For the first time,
But your lips shake as they touch mine.
I can taste your tears as they fall on my tongue.
Your nose begins to run. Everything mixes together as you kiss me.
Pressing hard against me, sobbing into me.
You hold me till it hurts.
Your hands start to move.
Trembling as they touch me.
I whisper.
You go to my shirt.
Your lips go to my neck.
You whisper, please.
And I see you.
I actually see you.
And I love you.
I see what you need.
And I so want to be able to be what you need.
So
It's funny. Not funny, like laughing funny. It's just funny. Like interesting funny. Or unbelievable funny. Like why funny? The frustrating kind of funny. Because I just laid there. And I was dry. Really. Like sandpaper kind of dry. I wasn't, not even discharge wet. It was like, you know when you go to the dentist and there is so much saliva in your mouth that it's getting in the way. So they get this suction machine. It's this tube that goes in your mouth and it sucks it dry. So dry that you're trying to gag up some sort of spit or something just to dampen even a little bit because it's so horrible being that dry. Well, it was like that. It was like they got one of those tubes, stuck it down there and sucked every last drip out of me. It was that kind of dry. It was skin on skin, creating a burning. I actually thought I was on fire at one point, which I know sounds stupid, but afterwards, I couldn't put my legs together. I could barely walk because of. So I got loads of pseudocreme for rashes and stuff, and I just bathed mine in it. But it stung. Like a million bees had swarmed down on me. So I ran into the bath and just sat there crying, watching it bleed into the water. That was the first time I cried. Funny, isn't it? During everything that happened, I never cried. You were the only one who cried, and it's funny, because I just knew when you were on me, in me, as I looked in your eyes as you cried, and I knew you needed this. I always knew you needed this. Which is funny. Sad, funny, because I can't tell you why or how. I just knew within myself, like my gut saw that look, you needed this. And I just think, I hope you got what you needed, because then at least the pain of the dryness, it would have been worth it. Like looking in your eyes and knowing you needed this more than I could understand. Maybe we needed this more than I could understand, because I didn't understand. I just knew I had to push through. You know, the funniest thing is, now, I don't even look at it or touch it. I'm just sitting in the bath avoiding it. It's funny because they're so tucked away that if I try hard enough, I can almost forget about it. Because now, after everything, it's like if I do look at it, I don't really know it. It's like I'm sitting in the bath and I'm looking down at it, and it's like it's gone back to just being a funny thing. And then an old thought pops back in. What is that funny thing? Only this time, a whisper starts answering. And I'm thinking about Barbies bashing together, about sonic screwdrivers coming in air, about massive dildos covered in wrinkles. I'm thinking about kisses, about first times and last times. I'm thinking about sheets. I'm thinking about them, about the tests and the pain, and I'm thinking about you. But mostly I'm thinking about what happens if I just sit here. If I just sit here and you just sit there. If I just sit here in the bath and you look at me. You look at me sitting here.
Cramped in.
Sitting here.
Wet. Cramped in.
Sitting here.
Looking at me.
Sitting here.
Too late. Is it too late?
To sit here.
Stars.
Again.
I want them.
They're millions of nerves.
They're heartbeats.
Something with a heartbeat inside them.
I want
Them
To sit here
with me.
And
it hurts.
suffocating.
It's isolating.
But it's funny.
because it's funny.
Me.
Sitting here.
You looking at me.
Sitting here.
Look.
I want you to sit here, to try, to touch, to try, touching me. I want to sit here, to sit here, to sit here. I want them, I want you, I want me. So I touch and I start again.
charity and to make shows like this and with other companies, with emerging artists, we really rely on public donations. So if you feel like you want to donate, you can at the bar. Yeah, keep coming to see amazing videos.
Okay, you need something like that.
Stay there. Take off your jacket. Take your jacket. And then you need to go outside for air, for coldness. What you need?